Clay, I need you, please. Just, can you grab this? I've got to handle something. LinkedIn said there's a problem.
The post.
Just get it, yeah. All right. Okay, got it. Hello, everyone. All right, we are live, and welcome to the Seeking Heaven, the Near-Death Experience channel and other phenomena. Today, we're going to be talking about other phenomena, and we have 4 mediums that are in the green room waiting, or actually 3. I'm one of them. So you're going to have a real treat today. Before we get started, let me introduce myself and then do a couple announcements, and then we will get on with it. And we will be having live questions as well as readings. So you may be a lucky person. So I wanted to welcome you. If you haven't subscribe to my channel. We're going to be doing a lot more live events, as well as all sorts of fun things like this, as well as other stuff. I have a lot of really cool things coming up. Okay. So I don't want to, I'll let you know as it comes along because I really do. I have some really neat thing interacting with different types of people. And since I am a medium myself, an evidential medium, I was trained 8 years in the evidential style of mediumship. My friends here today are also trained in that same style. And I want you to see the healing powers of mediumship. And I want you to see them in action and to ask us questions about growing up and what it was like and how this can be a blessing to many people. So before we start, I'm Tamara Caulder Richardson. I'm your host. I'm known as the Southern Belle Medium. A little bit about me, and then I'm going to bring people on. I have seen spirit since 3 years old. I've had 6 near-death experiences. 2 of them I saw and communicated with Jesus. 1, I was in a coma 3 days and hung out with him. Pretty awesome. And I also am a Christ Chandler. Hence, because I hung out with him, I haven't stopped talking to him. He is my master teacher. And there is a channel on my YouTube called Academy of Love, and Jesus Speaks or He Speaks. You can hear some of the messages. So as far as me, I'm a physical and a mental medium. Things will move in the room with me, as well as smells. I'm also physical. I'll let them... I like doing the whoopee hug, and you can see my face change and many times turn into kind of someone else. I don't think it's really creepy because the people that I allow to do that with me are really sweet, you know, so it's just like giving a hug. Also do trance and transfiguration, and we'll talk a little bit about maybe what some of these things are. I do stage mediumship around the United States, as well as read people internationally. Online Zoom, and we're going to be doing live readings on my show Seeking Heaven. So if you're interested, sign up for my newsletter and you'll be able to win a free reading, but you'll be read live. So if you're okay with that, it's all good. It's all about the love. So if you're interested, go to southernbellemedium.com is on the homepage, and then I'll put you in there to be able to get to win a reading. So before we start, I want to thank you all. And again, the topic is revealing blessings from heaven. And I'm going to bring through our first medium from South Africa, and that would be Priscilla. All right. Hello.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
This is Priscilla Gendron. Gendron, did I say that correctly?
Gendron.
Gendron. Okay. So now I met Priscilla, I met Priscilla on one of the social media things. We started a chat, had some fun. And since then, we've talked multiple times, had quite a few laughs, as well as she's involved with a very big wellness conference. She's also an evidential medium. And it's funny because we read similar. We kind of link in to one another naturally. And so that's a beautiful thing, that being trained in a similar manner. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and also about this wellness conference, which is amazing what you're doing with this summit. You've got, 90 speakers in the spiritual realm that they can be a part of this and subscribe?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Tamara. It's really wonderful to be on this platform. My name is Priscilla Gendron. I'm a psychic medium and a healer. I'm based in South Africa, which is in Durban, which is on the east coast of Africa, South Africa. And I have been a psychic medium most of my life. I've been born with it as a natural ability and gift. And, all those expressions when you have the Haley Joel Osment saying, I see dead people from a very young age. That was my life. That was my everyday life of how it was for me growing up. I didn't know any better or any different. So it was quite unusual for me to not have it in my life. So everybody always says, oh, I'm so scared of all these things. For me, it wasn't. For me, it was like a natural process. It was like, putting on a new pair of, trainers or things like that. So for me, it was never a scary process. The way I work is very different to how everybody else works. We all have our own way and methodology of how we actually connect to spirit. I sometimes see spirit, I feel them, I sense them. So I'm also clairaudial, clairsentient. And also I get sometimes within myself, I get like visions and pictures of what they look like. Sometimes the names come up. And sometimes I actually get them talking to me. Sometimes they can tap me on the shoulder and say, hello, here I am. And they sometimes want to, make themselves known or their presence known. So, and it's never freaked me out or made me, feel crazy about it. It's like a natural process.
Well, they're our friends, aren't they? They're just like
Yes.
us. And I do want to kind of interject this for people that don't know much about this, and we're going to go into what it's like growing up medium. Is that to me? We're spirit. I say I'm spirit. I just have to happen to have a vessel. Once that vessel is dropped, which I've seen it with my near-death experiences, you're still very cognizant and aware. And this is what these people are. And these are from the higher realms, the heaven realm. So they're actually a higher tones, happier than we
very
are.
Much.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's why I like the energy because they're in a
They're on a higher wavelength. They're on a higher wavelength. And
absolutely.
as a medium, you tend to learn these different steps and you go up these different wavelengths until you are in tune with the person or the energy. And it becomes like a natural process. You've got the right pin code, in a sense, in order to be able to communicate with spirit.
Absolutely.
And, among of the other things that I also do is I run an online and a physical conference. So because of what's happened in the world this year, we had to cancel our physical event. It's a huge festival, 3 days in Durban, South Africa. And we had to think on our feet, like what we're going to do, And so we took our whole conference online. And at the moment, we're sitting on about 150 different speakers. And it's represented in 15 countries. So they come from 15 countries, anything from Peru to the UK, to the USA, Portugal, Australia, Nicaragua. There's some unusual countries, and of course, South Africa amongst a few. And it just has opened it up to the communication. So one of the things that this year has taught us is global communication. And that's what our conference is doing. It's allowing people to have access to things that they would normally not get access to because, this person's in the UK or that person's in Australia or this person's in South Africa. And you would never meet in everyday life. Whereas now we can create this online event. And then we also do a 1-day live event where we have 9 speakers that do a live link where everybody can just join in and participate live. So that's one of my projects that we're working on this year.
Tell me the name of the conference again. Wellness. What's the website?
The wellnesslifestyleconference.com. So it's www.thewellnesslifestyleconference.com.
There you go. And that's actually one of the reasons that Priscilla contacted me about being a speaker. And I will be a speaker on there. I just have been busy, but we've done other things. I've been on your psychic roundtable and read people around the world, and we had so much fun. I participated, and that's where I met Sookie, as well as I was on there. And I think I'm going to be on there December 3rd again, but it's an awful lot of fun. One thing real quick, shout out that Priscilla and I, we're really talking about using these gifts to help heal this world right now. I mean, this is something, the same concerns, the same things all around the world. So we're going to be offering a class on grief relief and regaining your joy. And so just to let you know that that is something that is coming up. And there it is right there. That's going to roll out on Friday. Okay, we're still working out the details, but it's going to be powerful. It's going to be 6 weeks, and we're going to end up with a 2-hour medium demonstration for people that sign up for this class. They get that as a bonus. So we will let you know, but we're offering a special Black Friday deal. Seriously, we will. We're going to offer that. And that's going to roll out Friday when I do my my live chat at 6 p.m. That's 6 to 7 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And you will see the rollout and the link. We will have it already, and it will be a deal. That deal will be from Friday to Monday, and then it's going to change and go up to our higher rate. So it's going to be good. All right. So Priscilla, thank you. She's an excellent medium. I think she's wonderful. We have a lot of fun. And I am going to bring on Leo. All right, Leo. This is Leo Bonomo, and he's from the UK. And Leo, we've just been talking about Priscilla's background at her wellness conference and about how we met. And Leo, we were chatting about how that we know some of the same mediums or for us training about Colin Fry. Tell that story. Tell a little bit about your background and so forth.
My background, I first saw spirit when I was 2 years old, and to me it was very natural. I saw, I don't really like the term ghost, but I saw my first ghost when I was 2, and I was standing between my mum and dad, and we were walking past the cemetery, and this was one summer, and it was around 6:30, something like that, and I just had a presence that I felt behind me. So I turned around and had a look, and I could see like mist over the pavement because it was just outside the cemetery walls, and it rose up horizontal, and then he upended. And I didn't think there was anything strange at that, although I was staring at it. So my dad asked me, you know, what's wrong? And I just said, there's a funny man behind us. And we all turned back. I couldn't see anything. He'd kind of made himself invisible. And then we turned back, and I wanted to double check. I looked again, and there he was again. This happened several times. And the only thing that I found strange was his clothing, which was Victorian, top hat and towels, and obviously something he'd been buried with. But that was my very first encounter, and it was an awakening. Since my very earliest recollections before 2, I knew I didn't really belong here, and that's a familiar thing with so many mediums. I felt that I'd arrived here in some way, didn't really want to be here. So those grew up, and then I had that first experience, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful childhood because I've experienced so many things: astral projection at will, physical mediumship. I've had people form. One time, notably, there was a very tiny hand, and it was about 6 inches off the floor, and it just pushed my bedroom door open. It was disembodied. I didn't find that strange, as you do. And so I had loads of those experiences from being out of my body, some near-death experiences as well. And I just took that as very, very normal. And it was only towards, I suppose, my mid-30s when I decided that I'd perhaps want to do something else with it. And then came to a point in my life where I needed to train, and trained at the Spiritual Association of Great Britain. And from there, various things happened, and work was taken away from me till the only thing I had left was to do this. And I started that in 2005. And I'm an evidential medium. I tend not to get names unless, curiously, they're very unusual. Perhaps Hindu names I've had come through, which I can't pronounce, but I make a sound that's similar to what I'm hearing, and it's understood, so that makes sense. But one of the reasons I tend not to give names is because they can be link names, and they maybe in spirit, they may be here, they may be referring evidentially to a person that's here. But I have all the senses: clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, smells, taste, and all those come in a mixture for me when I'm reading. So I think it's very different to why most people work. I like it because it keeps me on my toes. I don't know which direction that piece of information is coming from and what form it will take. So it can be sounds. Interested in physical mediumship and seen and experienced that, and it's been wonderful. And I think, like all of us, you know, this is my life's work. This is why I came here.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that it's actually a decision to carry it at this level of dedication. So I get that. And I think all of us, you know, we're all different because we're different people, but I know that many of us were born this. We were born like this. But we have had training, but we do use all the different senses: hear, see, feel. Many of us do, but some maybe tend to, you know, be more clairvoyant. I was more clairvoyant as a child, but now I use all of them, and I tend to use my clairaudience. I hear them a lot. They just tell me. Now I'm like, oh God, this is what they used to do to me as a kid. They just talk all night. So, but all of us, we do try to tap into all of these things. So I want to bring in, thank you so much, Leo. They're going to see more of you doing your thing later on. And we're going to talk about growing up being medium too, as well as we can touch more on this physical stuff or whatever people get your questions ready. So I want to bring in, and thank you. I want to bring in Sookie Klair. All right, Sookie. We've been chatting and having a
Hello,
great
everybody.
Sookie Klair from the UK. And we've been having a chat. Everybody's been telling their background, and Leo just finished his. And I just wanted to, shout out to you first. Is I met you in the psychic Zoom room, right? The round table, Priscilla and her group.
Yeah, that was an awesome evening.
Yeah, and you read me, and I thought, well, she's pretty darn good. And then I had so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, Priscilla, you can definitely pick them. So
Okay. Are you the best?
I feel like Priscilla was my sister in the last lifetime, or maybe multiple lifetimes we've been together, and we've ended up in this lifetime as well. So first of all, I'm so honored to be on your show and to share the platform again with such wonderful, experienced and just great mediums and individuals. So thank you for having me.
Oh,
and my story is very similar to. Sorry.
Go ahead.
My story is very similar to Priscilla's and Leo's in the sense of right from a very early age, I could sense people around me, and I could listen to them. They would talk to me. I just put it down to a very active imagination that I loved reading, and I just thought, well, it's just the words coming at me, and my imagination is playing overtime. I always used to sense a lady that used to stand on the end of my bed, who I nicknamed Mary, and she was just like a very comforting presence. And as I got older, I think with these experiences, I didn't really have anybody to talk to as to what I was experiencing. So I just kept it very insular, very close. And it wasn't until round about when I was living in London, I had loads of experiences in the house I was living in, poltergeists who was literally banging on the floors when I was downstairs. They would just bang around upstairs in the bedrooms and slam the doors, and the place would go really, really chilly and stuff. So again, not realizing what was going on, I was in a bookshop and I picked up a book called How to Contact Your Spirit Guides. I thought, okay, what's that? And it was only from reading that little book that I started to understand what was going on and trust my gift more and more. And here I am today. Again, it's with the senses, I tend to sort of visually, internally see the person, hear the person. Sometimes I can taste the you know what, on your tongue when somebody sprays perfume and you can smell it and taste it on your tongue. I can sense animals at times. It just depends on the spirit coming through as to how they want to communicate with you. But it is an absolute, I really do feel like I found my purpose. It's taken me a while, but it's again, like Leo has said, I've never felt like I fitted in. I never felt like I belonged here. I just felt like I got abandoned here on this planet and I'm just waiting to go home. But yeah, it's just you can't describe the feeling, is the sense of joy that this work brings. And I don't call it work, it's an experience that you have as well with the other person, and you go on this journey with them, and it's like you're having one big family hug with the physical person here as well as the spiritual visitors or people who want to come through. So yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, Tamara's muted.
Sorry, I was clearing my throat. I muted myself. Okay, I'm back. So first of all, thank you, Sookie. You're awesome. They're going to see you soon. We're to do your thing as well. I felt it was important today. We're going to be taking questions in the chat. Anything you have about the spirit world, yourself, how this works, anything strange that you're afraid to ask, you can do it here. And then later on, have some people that volunteered for readings. Now, the people that I brought, you guys don't know. You've never met them. They're Americans. You have no clue who these Americans are. And then I have someone, I don't know where they're from. For me, I have no clue where they're from. So, and then we're going to see this gift work. I do want to make a comment about, this is really strange because this is an organic thing too. And that's that we want part of our soul, our soul shining through so you can see this and we can be of service. You know, I noticed that you all said that you didn't feel like you belong. Now, that was to me, you might say, well, yeah, if you're seeing spirit at an early age, you might feel like you don't fit in. But I felt from the very beginning, like as long as I can remember, like baby, long time, like, what the hell am I doing here? Yeah. I thought it was a strange place. And I had this sense of purpose, but I did feel like an oddball. And I think now, you say oddball. I'm really big into not trying to label people because I don't like being labeled. And I want to, I think everyone should be out of the box and be their own person. That allows us to grow. But I still don't. I don't fit in with traditional religion, but yet I love God probably more than anybody. Okay. But then, I don't fit in with traditional, with any, with per se mediums. I thought about it the other day, a renegade spiritual underdog. and that's okay, because there's a lot of people that don't feel like that they follow a particular whatever. They just do their own thing. And that's okay. So it's funny, we all kind of mentioned that we saw spirit very early and how they came to us in forms. I will tell you that I did see them as physical people as us, and I saw my relatives. I did see dark things. I've seen angels and demons. I've seen that. They're just different dimensions. That's all. They don't play with me now. Like the angel realm. But I did see, it was very disconcerting as a child. And I there are different dimensions besides just here. I've seen gnomes and fairies. Oh boy, that's a whole different thing. So we're going to talk about the different realms as you see it. And like I said, the realm I deal with, I have seen ghosts. They look gray to me. And they're usually a bit sad. And sometimes they're pissed off. I just tell them, look, I'll help you if you want, but you don't mess with me, because I have a body and I'm just as powerful and can do the same things you can do. but I have helped them. But the way that I look at it, I want to get your feedback on this, is, if you have someone in life and they're very negative or sad, right? We've met these people, like very much so. When they drop their body, do you think all of a sudden they get wise? They don't. They're the same, like, miserable people. So I think God doesn't leave anyone behind, but it's free will. Sometimes they might want to hang out here. So why don't we speak about ghosts versus spirits? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
They ghosts are there are two forms of ghosts. There's the interactive type of ghost, so they are physically there. They can interact with us. They can speak with us, and they get stuck for all kinds of reasons. And sometimes it's just they don't know they've passed away. Sometimes it's because of the method of passing, or they don't want to leave something behind. You know, if they're very egotistical and very clingy for money and possessions, they don't want to leave them behind. And you get the second type, which is more of an imprint. So it can be an imprint in a particular room or a place, or you know, you get the headless stagecoach kind of thing, you know, and there's an imprint in that, and something will open that up or jar it, or you'll be sensitive and connect in that way. But I think that you're very right. You know, they are just people, and we have to remember that. And there are people here that are really not so nice. You know, the criminals of all kinds, and they're just the same, and they have the same inclinations.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way of putting it. And I know that we've got, I'm going to shout out to Shipwreck and Thought. He was on my Halloween special. He's a paranormal expert, so he knows a lot about the area of ghosts. But he's like me. I love spirit. You know, I'm just like, they're same as people. Like, look, you got a bad attitude, you need to stay away. If you want to be nice, we'll talk about it. But then I like what you mentioned, Leo, the concept of residuals, because there are some places that you go to that it just repeats the same time at 3 p.m. And it's just recording as an imprint. But I will say this. We leave imprints where we go, kind of like if you've never been to France, and then you go to France and you go, well, it could be a past life thing, but you know, where you left an imprint, you came back, go, well, that looks familiar. But we leave imprints all the time ourselves. So you don't have to be dead to do that. You can be alive. So anyone to make a comment about spirits and ghosts, and let's talk about the spirit side of things, how awesome spirit is. I love spirit people. I like them better than people. I like spirit people and dogs, and then humans next. That order, sorry guys. I mean, I'll put you in a different category since you're like me. But yeah, they're much higher tone. And there was a question here. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. Is there questions? Is there anyone in spirit that can help you develop your gifts? Okay, I'm going to just take this one really quick. When I was a kid, it was not a pleasant childhood. Okay, let me say, I had no parental guidance pretty much. So my spirit friends helped me through it. And they also talked to me constantly, and they were so loving. Some of them were my, you know, ancestors' family. And they were so loving and kind, and they're still there for me. And when I say spirit, maybe we should clear that term up. Spirit, I mean spirit world, spirit people. And also there's spirit, which is like God, like the great spirit kind of thing. But when I say spirit, I say it plural, but I have a great love for spirit. Now I'll talk to that. Priscilla, Sookie, you haven't said anything. And I know, Leo, I want you to chime in on that. Say, what is your connection? I chose this. Well, it was later in life, but I always love my spirit friends. I just, you know, so talk about that. Talk about what your feelings are. Do you have a heart connection with spirit?
Yeah, I definitely feel as if I do have a heart connection with spirit, and it kind of almost feels like, you know, I think when we're in this realm and in this world, you can't help but not have a strong connection and love for spirit, because otherwise it doesn't work. It feels like you've got to have this unconditional love and connection and faith in spirit and God and whoever it is that's out there in what and what we believe in. We've got to have undeniable faith in them that they what they're giving us and how they're helping us is the right thing for us. Because if we don't, then it becomes mixed up, it becomes jumbled, it becomes hard and difficult. So the smoother the connection to spirit, the better our lives will be.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leo, I want to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Spirit is like your support network, and that they're the guys, that your go-to guys when as much as they communicate with us, we communicate with them, and you do build this really, really strong relationship with them. And my personal belief is that there is a supreme being, whether you want to call him God or Jesus or whatever you want to label that energy, there is a supreme being, and divine soul is what everything radiates from, and spirit is just radiating from that source, and we are communicating and connecting with that energy.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I mean, to me, being a near-death experience, or not that you have to die to know this stuff, you don't. But to me, on the other side, it's all love and it's unity. It sounds like a hippie song I'm getting ready to say, but it is. And but to me, I always tell people, heaven's a big operation. There's more than Jesus there. A lot of Christians don't realize there's a lot going on. There's a lot of elders. Like there's a big team. They're like, and they gotta laugh. They're going, oh Lord help me, what are they doing now? They gotta laugh at us. Not laugh. They see us as humans, and that we do have a big team helping us. So Leo, talk about your connection to spirit, and then I want to go into a few questions about the spirit realm and how we connect. So why don't we answer the question about spirit and then take this one, and then we'll go around the table.
Yeah, my connection to spirit is very natural, and I think there's a point at which we put great awe into what they do, and things are wonderful, and they are. But I think we have to remember as well that whilst they're there in spirit, and certainly guides are on a similar level to us, which is something that people don't really understand. They put guides on a pedestal, but they have the same flaws as us. They have lived a life where we're having the same difficulties, so they understand. They don't judge at all. So that's very natural. And I agree with, people sometimes ask me if I'm religious, and I think they're quite shocked when I say no. I'm not religious. I would hope I'm spiritual, because there's a big difference between the two. But when, whatever religion you may be here, once you've progressed in spirit, there is no religion. There's only spirit. And it's a wonderful thing. And we can learn so much. I'm blessed to learn something every day. I mostly learn that I don't know very much. It's very humbling.
Really good stumbling through this. I'm very impressed. I know people would love to stumble through mediumship. Oh, that's funny. It's true. The way I look at it is this: religion is man-made. Men are going to let you down. I go to source. Whatever you want to call it, the one, right? I like living there. Someone asked earlier, and I also want us to get this fear message, and we're going to keep on chatting, but I have Tourette's. I got to say something really quick. The fear thing. Okay. So if you're talking to me, do you feel fear? Hopefully you say no. Talking to a serial killer, or you went through maximum security prison, you might feel fear. It's the energy. If you're doing a love flow, if you're going to an area where there's like a massive slaughter, you might feel a little fear, even if it's just residual stuff, So you've got to really be cognizant of the energy, and also the energy with people. There's some people, honestly, that scare the crap out of me, way more than a spirit person would ever. They right? People are more, because they can actually do things to you that are good or bad. So the fear to me is not real. It depends on the energy. Now, I want to talk about the connection too, and about how we connect. Real quick, I connect from my heart source, and I don't think with my head. I think with my heart, and I surrender, and I make myself bigger in the room, and I surrender to God, and I ask the spirit people to come close. I say, come close, my friends. I give you my love. I'm service to you. How do you guys do it?
Very similar to you.
Sorry.
No.
Go ahead, Leo.
Sorry. Yeah. I just feel a shift, and when I first started connection to spirit, it was just instantaneous. It was just a very natural thing, and then I was trained, and so when we're trained to sort of shift in a very orderly way. You know, we do things in a particular sequence, but now it's instantaneous, and part of that was thanks to my ex-wife. and that was because she didn't really like what I did, and so when I was starting to work on a psychic line, she would come and interrupt and cause all kinds of problems and headaches, and so I learned to open very, very quick. So now it's instantaneous. It's just a shift for me. I feel that shift, that move, and spirit will come in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Priscilla,
definitely. I would say I tune myself out and I tune into them. So I've quietened down my internal dialogue has quietened down. So it's like emptying a room, and then you just allow spirit to come through. Whoever is going to come in, whoever you're going to communicate with. But don't forget, you always have your protectors with you. You always have your angels with you. You always have your guides with you in that room as well, making sure that nothing's entering that shouldn't be entering in that room, and that communication you're having is very organic and honest and genuine, shall we say.
that's a terrific point, Sookie. So I'm just going to go ahead and say we all work with the angelic realm, right? Say yes, of course.
Yes.
To me, they walk.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so when I used to do like these early on these psychic fairs, I was all nervous about the energy. So I'd have like, oh my God, a legion of angels behind me. I mean, I look like I should have a theme song, you know, like shout. Now I just know that they're around. I thank them. And
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's when you, we are spirit. And so when I have someone's father, mother, grandmother, granddad, uncle, aunt, whatever, friend, they're like us. So I have love for people. I see the divine in people. So to me, I don't see them as different.
Yeah.
I don't really see them as different. I see them as us. You know, and to me, ghosts are people that they used to be people, and they just a lot of them have issues, but people here have issues. We can't, you know, we help people when we can't help everybody, and people have free will. Priscilla, why don't you talk about your connection and how you connect?
Yeah, I think mine is very similar between Suki and Leo, in sense that the way I describe it is that I'm a Gemini, so there's two of me. So I can be Priscilla, and then I can be psychic medium Priscilla. So for me, I can easily just go boop, and go into one or the other, and I do it quite effortlessly. And I think the more I do it, the more easier it becomes. So I can easily switch from one to the next. And like Suki says, you have to just empty your mind and just clear out all the clutter of the day, to allow spirit to sort of tune in, or you tuning into their energy. And sometimes it can just be in the most unusual places as well. So it's not necessarily when you're actually reading for somebody that spirit come and bother you. It can be in the most unusual places that spirit start knocking on your door, your spiritual door, and saying, "Hello, I'm here to chat." Yeah. So I mean, it feels like it's in. Yeah. I just describe it as being Gemini. I can switch from one energy to the next quite easily.
Absolutely. Did you want to say something, Leo?
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, perhaps to explain to people, because when we train or when we speak to people, we talk about tuning in. And I think people may be unclear as to what that may be. And one of the things is that spirit are on a much, much higher level. They have to come down a long way to connect, and we can only move up so far. So there is a meeting of minds. And I think if viewers can imagine the old-fashioned radio where you're tuning in the things moving up to find the station, it is literally the same. And there is a point at which they meet, and then you get the signal, if you like, and that's why we call it tuning in. Yeah. So it is literally like a psychic radio or a spiritual radio.
I want to add to that. There are mechanisms. I think to all of us, it's natural because we've been doing this for so long, and I can go into a trance immediately, and then people won't know it. I'll be laughing, cutting up, and I have no idea what I say or what I've done, because we do this so much. But I think at this point, all of us are masters. I look at it like a light switch now. I can turn it on or off, and it's okay. I'm done. One thing I do want to say, people that are starting out, that are working with their intuition or whatever it may be, is just a word of caution. And look, I did it. Look, I got to admit it. I'm gonna come clean. I did it. I used to go up and just read people because I was nuts. I don't know, years ago. I just go, hey, by the way, because I thought this was normal. If you do get a message for someone, you want to say hello. Hello, I have something. Look, it's good, but if you're interested, I got a message from you. Are you interested? You need their permission. And if they go, oh yeah, or if they go, no, you might freak them out. And they may be, who knows, very religious or whatever. You don't know when you called them at a bad time. Just whatever you do, always ask permission. You see on these shows, you know, like Long Island Medium, or of course, like Tony Stockwell had a thing, but he was paid to go out and talk to people. I mean, to do that, I'm street psychic. But just that's a word of caution, because you know, I really believe that we should have we are professionals here, professionals. So just when you're training, just keep that in mind. But other than that, go for it. And you know, your friends are great guinea pigs. You know, right? If you want to learn,
it can be. So sometimes it can be very traumatic for a person who's not expecting and hasn't come to you to receive a message, to get a message ad hoc. And we as mediums, we have to be very self-responsible in that sense. And when I'm in town and I'm shopping for groceries and I'm picking up energies and things, it is about that person hasn't asked you, and you have no right to invade their privacy in that way. So you have to take your responsibility very seriously, because the work that we do can be, as much as it is uplifting, and you know, as a bereavement counselor, you know, people who are bereaved can take a very, very long time even to accept that that person has gone. And if you're going to be sitting there saying, oh, by the way, your husband's standing behind you, or your daughter is here, or your dog is here, you know, because animals again have energy and that soul, and people look at their animals as very much as a human representative of somebody that they really loved. So you have to be very responsible in your practice.
Yes, and it is a practice, and it is a profession. And I think that, I don't know about you other mediums, but to me, this is extremely sacred. This is very sacred work. I hold it very sacred. It's so funny. My husband Clay, I think he's watching, but when I've done I love platform, and I like it with a lot of people because I love to see spirit flowing through the crowd, and it amazes me. The more, I mean, spirit's unbelievable. You just have no idea what spirit can do. But when I'm in that, you know, in that state, I allow spirit to take me over, and the feeling is very euphoric. And I have to tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of times my best high is mediumship. No, don't y'all get high on this? I mean, you get tired then. You get really high and then you get really tired. But isn't it euphoric though? You're working with spirit.
Very much so.
Oh yeah.
I always say to people, I don't have to take drugs in order to get high. I just have to do readings and communicate with spirit, and that gives me my natural high.
Yeah.
And I'm off with fairies, you know. The natural high.
Very, very much.
I also want to talk about.
And it's.
Go ahead, Sookie. There's a delay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's the best job satisfaction you can ever get. It literally is that as Priscilla said, that euphoric high that you get, that buzz stays around you for ages, and sometimes, you know, you end up not sleeping all night because you're on such a high buzz, and then the next day you sort of come down and you think, oh, you know, I should have done that, I should have had some rest. It does take a lot out of you, physically, emotionally, and mentally, being a medium and connecting with spirit. So we have to be self-responsible as well as to how we pace ourselves in what we do.
Oh, that is very good. And I don't always do that. I'm like the ever ready bunny. I don't always do the Priscilla. I know because Mama Priscilla over here has told me that, but it is euphoric. Our bodies do get, we're in these vessels, they do get really tired. Now, I wanted to mention a couple things. We're going to talk about energy, and then we're going to have to get on to some readings here. Energy really quickly, and then also commitment to spirit. I was talking to spirit very early on. My earliest recalls 3, could have been before that, who knows. Spirit's always been a part of my life, but I didn't want anyone to know for a long time. I hid it because I didn't want to be locked up in the nutty farm. And later on in life, literally, I was called into service. And when I finally decided, I was actually at the Omega Institute in New York taking a John Holland class. I said, I can't believe this. I'm doing this crap. I can't believe so advertising. I was like, I said, I need signs. I got signs all weekend, including a guy on the airplane on the way up there. It said, seance, talking to spirit all week. I'm like, really? And after that, and I was on stage, I was like, spirit took me over, and I'm like, this is what I was born to do. And I committed. I gave my life. So I'll probably be like Doris Stokes. I'll be up there like 80 something, eating a banana, drooling. I have a low blood sugar going, okay, hold me up. I'm just going to ride this spirit thing all the way out. So did you commit to spirit? And did you think that spirit chose you, and did you choose spirit? Each one. Who's first? Priscilla?
Good, Priscilla.
Okay. Thank you. I think that spirit chose me. As a child, I got incredibly ill, and I got so ill that I had to be airlifted by helicopter from our town we lived in to the major city, and I was in the ICU for a couple of weeks. People praying, all the nuns in the church praying for me, and the priest doing special masses, and I ended up dying twice, and them having to revive me. So it was part of my near-death experience. And I feel like from that time, that's what spirit did, and they changed me. You know what I mean? And I feel like from there, it was like, okay, you've been chosen for something different, because my life was not normal by any means. I spent a lot of time alone, communicating with spirit. Spent a lot of time in hospital for most of my childhood. So for me, it was, yes, we've got to get you tuned into spirit 100%. So I had, maybe for me, there was no choice in the matter. It was always meant to be from the time that I was 12 months old, that I had this energy and having to be connected to spirit all the time. So for me, it was like a natural thing. So I don't know any different. It's kind of like breathing.
Okay,
Spirit.
see, I don't know this about you, and so Sookie, I'm just going to tell you, I claim Priscilla as my sister before you. You know what? You could be my sister too. But I had a prenatal.
Okay. We'll discuss that later, Tamara.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's wild, because that's all I ever knew too. Because I had I saw myself. I wasn't almost here, but yeah, I think so. What about you two? What about Leo? Did you have something in your childhood, or what? How did you?
This is going to sound strange, because I incarnated specifically to do this, and up to the age of 2, I was quite upset. I think I was quite a miserable child, because I didn't want to be here. I found myself here. I knew I was going to be here for a while and got stuff to do. So that's basically how that started. And having the gift and deciding to train formally is perhaps quite a different thing. So I had a dream one night. Spirit were calling me, and I said, look, I want proof. If I'm going to do this, I want proof if I'm dedicating my life. And a gentleman came to me in my dream called Robert Brown, who's a world-renowned medium. I'll tell you a funny story if we have time.
Yeah.
And he came to me and he said, you need to go to the SAGB and you need to sit with Jerry March. Now, I'd never heard of Robert Brown, never heard of the SAGB, never heard of Jerry March. So being curious, I found that it existed. I phoned up and I tried to sit with Jerry March. And in the end, I sat with Robert Brown for about 4 weeks. There were 10-week courses running consecutively. And after 4 weeks, he vanished. Eventually, they found him in Germany. But then I began to sit with Jerry March. So that was a very conscious thing and a very strong signal from spirit, because when we get a call in and we say, right, if I'm going to do this, I want some proof, we can doubt the proof, because you think, well, perhaps that's what I wanted to do. I've influenced it in some way. So that's how my calling resolved itself and how I started to do the work. But a very quick story about Robert Brown then, if I have time. I saw him demonstrate, and this was at the SAGB, and there was a guy across the aisle from me who I could sense as well was a skeptic. And so Robert Brown went to him and he said, "You're a skeptic?" And he said, "Yes," and the arms folded and all the body language. And Robert Brown said to him, "I guess you're going to need some hard proof." And the guy said, "Yes." And he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you your bank account number." And he did. And the guy went white. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But I just thought I'd throw that in.
That I love those stories, and we could. You know what? We should do a thing just on our stories. And it reminded me. Your story reminds me of. It was Doris Stokes, the late Doris Stokes, who was a medium, and her style was very different. She didn't have sittings. She would just sit there and chat, and then the spirit would come through. But she told Colin Fry that he was going to be very well known internationally, and in the order he would go places, and that was before he even really acknowledged. I mean, he knew about his mediumship, but really acknowledged it, and is exactly what happened. So that reminds me so much of that. Real quick, I know we've got a sitter waiting, and this will be Priscilla. She's going to show her thing. But real quick, Sookie and Priscilla, I just want to make sure I don't leave you out with the spirit thing. And also, if one of you could answer something about working with energy. Let's go to Sookie first. Then I'm going to bring Priscilla in because she's got a sitter.
When you say working with energy, sorry, can you just clarify when you mean working with energy?
Okay, well, so let's go back to this one. Let's go back to your commitment to spirit and when that happened for you, because I want to make sure you get in the mix too.
Well, for me, I sincerely believe that I picked this life. When before I came here, when I was in spirit form, when I was in energetic form, I actually picked this life. But I had to remember I picked this life. You asked me 10 years ago or even 20 years ago that this is what I was going to be doing, I would have said, "You're talking total nonsense. You're talking about something completely different." And I feel at this moment that I'm actually doing, connecting and doing the work that I was meant to do, and that's working with spirit. But I had the free will. I might have had to have come back in order to finish my mission, but I do feel that I was chosen for this, but I chose this life as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, I know that we all choose our lives. I'm not just us here, but everybody. So, but the fact this is kind of a high calling, I believe, because it's tiring on your body. It's a lot of work energy wise. Let me just jump on that really quick because we got sitters. They're all logging in. Energy, it is tiring and so forth. Energy working with spirit. I'll speak for me, but we're probably, it's all the same. We have to raise our spirit. So what we have to do is be like a blank vessel. I empty, myself, and I sit there and I surrender. And I say, "Come close." And they're like little happy puppies, not the spirit or happy puppies, but that's what it feels like. And they're like, "Yay." They draw close. And then I'm like, "Yes." And then you start feeling they're here now. And then you say, "Yes, they're here." Oh yeah, because I said sitters, they're like, "We're on it." They've never let me down. And I know they've never let you guys down. And you surrender. Feel their energy, and you take your energy, and I take my energy, and I expand it in the room, and I blend with their energy, and then I take my energy and I pull them close. But to do this work, it does take a lot of energy, and it is draining, and you have to absolutely empty your brain. You can't think. You have to. It's a
Yeah.
strange thing. So we can talk more about energy as we go along, but we do have sitters backing up. Oh God, they're popping in like crazy. So if you don't mind, thank you all so much. And we're going to do more of this. And if people like it, we can do things on stories. I mean, this is just so rich of information, and you guys are just so awesome. I feel so honored, but we do have sitters that are sitting here waiting. So let's do the first one with Priscilla. And,
Okay.
and we're going to, let me get Priscilla here. And then I am going to bring in, let me see if how I can do this. Let me do just for a minute, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to, Sookie, your own hold. All right. And then it will be, let's see if we can do this. I want you to here. I'm going to, how can I change this? We're just going to have to do that, which sucks, but okay.
Yep, that's fine.
All right. So Priscilla, this is Rita, and Rita is
Hi,
from
Rita.
and she had, and Rita, you don't know Priscilla. No. Okay. And make sure we can hear you, Rita, say something.
Can you hear me okay?
Can you turn it up a little louder? It's a bit low.
That better?
Still, no, put your mic near your face.
That better?
You got it in that little part there. Just kind of bring it right here.
How about that?
No.
Still hard?
It's a little bit difficult, but I think we can work through it. Your actual earpiece is that little thing that hangs down here. So maybe the other side. Yeah, one of those, or the other one above. I can't tell. No, that's the connector is the one by your ear. Yes, right there. And so maybe you could bring it closer to you. Not in the mic, but that little thing. I think that's your mic. Okay. I don't know. Or you could just use, why don't you just use the computer mic?
All right, let me take that out. Can you hear me better?
If you have to unplug the earplugs.
I did.
You did? Okay, just turn it up your volume. I think we'll be fine. And
That's as high as
Yeah.
it goes.
that's better still. Okay, just, yes, loud as it can go. And then we'll just work with that. We can hear enough. So I'll let you do your thing, Priscilla.
Thank you very much. Hi, Rita. Right. I just wanted to find out, is there something specific that you wanted to focus on in terms of the reading today? I know things can get a little bit personal.
My career.
Okay.
That's
All right. Because I just like to have a little point of where I can start. And then from there, I take it and I work with it from there. Okay. Okay. For me, it feels as if you have very much come to a crossroads in your life. Where there are going to be some physical as well as emotional changes. And, sometimes career is not associated with emotions. It's more associated with finance and money and things like that. But for me, it feels like you're shifting from the heart, which just means that you're doing something or going to be shifting with something connecting to your heart. So it's not going to be as if it's going to just be, okay, I'm going to go and get something new and off I'm going to go. So for me, it feels like you're stepping into something more from the heart. So I don't know if you're looking to sort of embrace things more on a spiritual or creative level, but I do see a lot more creativity coming up around you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And for me, it feels like going into 2021, there just seems to be this huge change or shift in your energy. For me, it feels like 2021 seems to be a very important year for you. It's your year to really step up and shine your light into the world, which means everything that you've learned up until now is going to be put into practice, like as in big time, put into practice. And I feel as if you're also going to continue to learn and change and evolve things. I do see your hands getting quite warm. So I don't know if you're looking to do healing or are doing healing of some kind or working in the spiritual realm, but I feel like you need to embrace that more and to take that to the next level. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done sort of like Reiki training, or because I'm getting some like an Eastern philosophy healing, but now I feel as if you're gonna. Sorry.
I do healing touch, which is similar to
Okay, healing touch. very similar to Reiki. I'm feeling like that is just your grounding. That is your foundation work. Because for me, it feels like you're going to now take it and you're going to go from here to there. Not just like a little step, you're going to go like that. So you can take a huge leap. So it's going to require a lot of your energy and a lot of faith in yourself and your abilities. Okay. So spirit are going to take you on one hell of a journey. So you need to just kind of like strap yourself in and, hold on to the roller coaster and let the universe take you where it needs to go. Because I do see that there is going to be a lot more angelic healing coming in, which means you're going to be working on a much higher frequency. Whereas sometimes now you still physically touch the person on their body very lightly. Whereas from what I'm seeing is that you're going to be working in the auric space, like as in the auric field, as opposed to like as in physically working with things. You're going to be working in the 7 to 14 auric levels. And they're saying that that's going to take over 2 to 3 years for you to really hone that in and to hone in the energy with that. Okay. I also do feel as if you have to reconnect with nature a lot more as well. So I don't know if you haven't been spending enough time in nature or being out in the trees and the grass and, smelling the fresh air. But I feel as if you need to be doing that, hugging some trees, hugging some animals. It just feels like you need to use that energy because spirit are connecting with you in that way. I also see something about horses or connecting with horses in some way. So I don't know if you have a love for horses or have thought of working with them in some way. But I do see that there is something about working with horses or doing healing with horses. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking to do healing touch with animals.
Yes. For me, it feels like, you got the humans, but you prefer the animals. And I feel as if that's why the angelic healing is going to come in, because it's going to allow you to really embrace that and fine tune yourself to be able to understand the animals in a more profound way, and be able to hear them and hear what they have to say and hear how they are going to be able to facilitate their own healing in a sense. And I do see you working with a lot of bigger animals. So it's not going to just be kitties and doggies. It's going to be horses and maybe even wildlife or, like a wolf or maybe even a tiger. I don't know. I kind of feel like you're going to be working with bigger animals. So don't think small, think big. And I do see that there is, over the next 5 years, going to be a lot of traveling coming up for you. So I do see that you're going to go to South America, to Peru, and I'm also seeing that you are going to go to the East as well. There is going to be some kind of training that you are wanting to do, and you feel like if you're going to do it, you need to go and do it in that place. So it's very important for you to be able to do that. Okay, I'm getting a Charles coming up. Who's Charles?
Charles?
Yeah.
I have a nephew, Charles.
Okay. And is has he been very connected to animals?
I love animals, and I've worked on Tamara's dog.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
good.
I can relate to dogs, and I've done healing on a couple of dogs already.
Okay.
But
what I'm getting with Charles is that there's going to be a very similar, a big similarity between you and him. I don't know whether he's got some of your gift or got some of your energy. So I feel like in the future you are going to have to maybe help him or guide him. Okay, so the spirit is saying that you step in to help him. They're giving you the groundwork so that when he comes in, he doesn't have as hard a time as you have.
okay. So, wanted to wrap it up more. Said, did you do anything or make a comment?
No, I think it's pretty spot on because I've been working with animals, haven't been trained to do it. It's just something that comes very natural. And I've been doing a lot of remote healing since COVID hit. So I'm able to work on someone without them physically being here, where I thought I had to physically be there with them. And it's working just fine doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're tuning into the right energy.
Yep.
And that's just going to get stronger.
As time goes on. Can I ask you one question about my grandson? I have
Yes.
a grandson who is 9 years old that sees spirits. And I don't know if I'm meant to guide him to be able to handle this gift because he's having a tough time with it.
Yeah. Children of that age have a very tough time. Kind of just feel you can take a push backward. And I'm feeling as if you be able to pave the way so that his road is paved with gold, not with dirt. Okay. So it makes it easier for him. He needs to have a lot of crystals around him. So I feel like in order to start his gift, start off with crystals, so that he gets a better understanding of them.
Okay.
Because he's a very, very earthbound child. He would be very much elemental of this world. He's your little green piecer.
I can't hear you, Tamara.
I was working on the echo.
Okay.
Do you have your do you have YouTube on? Who's got YouTube on? Do you know what I mean? The stream on my channel. Maybe that's it. We've got this weird echo. Anyway, we're gonna have the next one, but
thank you so much.
Take care. Bye, Rita.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
All right. Do we have an echo now? How's it sound? Good?
No, it sounds fine. Yeah.
Okay, good. I think
no echo.
So sitters, you know who you are. When I give you the special link here, don't have on your computer with the other YouTube thing because that might have something to do with it. So you'll get a copy of this so you can see your reading. So thank you, Priscilla. This is just a sample to show our abilities. And Rita, by the way, is an amazing healer. Level 6. She's an amazing healer. And first time I met her, I read her. Someone referred her to me, and I said, "You have Jesus and Mother Mary with you." She goes, "How do you know?" I can see him. I thought, well, she's got to be obviously pretty cool. She's an amazing healer, though. All right. So
my hands are boiling hot. I could feel the heat. I could feel her energy because my hands started to get incredibly hot, and I got flushed because when I do my healing, that's happened. So when I feel like I'm connecting with another healer, they show me in that way, in the physical way.
Yeah, she's very good. She's a very powerful healer, and she's been working with my dog with a heart condition, Tucker. So I've known Rita for some time, and she's a lovely person. And her spirit family loves me. Yeah, so I know they're cool. All right, well, look, let's go to the next one. Thank you so much. All right, we are going to bring in Leo. Leo, are you ready to do your thing?
Absolutely.
All right. So this is Ron, and I'm going to give you Ron, and you just do whatever you do.
Hi, Ron. Good. Okay. I'm just going to go into a slightly different mode. And if I start looking in all different directions, it's because I'm looking at what Spirit is showing me. But I'm just going to try and get the link. Okay, now I've got something slightly unusual here. What I've got is a young boy. I'm notoriously bad with ages, but he's not old. He looks to be about 2 or 3. He's actually dressed in a little sailor's uniform, bless him. Would you understand having lost an uncle at a very young age?
At that age, I am not certain.
Okay, I know that's a bit difficult, and that would have been, quite some time ago. Okay, now, as I'm asking for evidence from this gentleman, he says that the family is fairly fragmented, so there are sections of the family that have been lost, for one way of putting it. So there's not a lot of interaction between the family, and he says that the families seem to work against each other. Now, this isn't in a malicious way, but there doesn't seem to be much harmony there. Would that make sense to you? Yeah. Okay. So he's just giving that to you. We may come back to that, I'm not sure, but he's just giving that to you as a confirmation of who he is. I'm just going to have a quick... your life has taken a dramatic change. He's actually taken me back. He's given me two periods. He's taken me back 6 months, but then he's taken me back almost 2.5 years. And your life has done a right angle. You're in a very different place now. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
Would you understand him talking about you being sensitive as well? Because he says the world has opened up for you. And I know that he means this in a spiritual way. Would that make sense too?
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. He is very, very happy with that. He calls it exposure, so I'm not entirely sure which way he means that, but he's very happy at the exposure that you've had to spirit, and he says exposure in other ways. He's actually showing me cards. If I said that you were either reading for people or a working medium, would that make sense to you?
Not at this point, but I think there has been an increase in the intuitiveness that I've had.
Fantastic. We all have choices, but he says you have a choice whether you can go on to do that. I know that gift, it's there. He says it's becoming more apparent every day. Would that make sense too?
Certainly.
Fantastic. Now, he's also shown me books so that I know that you read a fair amount. Would that make sense too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Reading is important for mediumship, and one of the reasons that it is the more we know, or the more we connect with and interact with, spirit will use that. He says once it goes in your head, you don't forget. Does that make sense to you? It really sticks, and spirit will use those. We have little codes in our head, so particular things would have a particular association for us. Mm-hmm. Spirit will use that, and the more knowledgeable in that sense that we are, the more they can use those to join the dots. He says you are a very fine-tuned person. He says emotionally you're quite different now to... He's actually taken me to early teens. Would that make sense to you as well?
Absolutely.
Because he says there's been a shift there, and he says that has been for a purpose. He says you are an extremely inquisitive person, that you like to know about lots of different things. That will also help you as well. But he says you can be extremely selective about what you're in tune with and inquisitive about. Would that make sense?
That's true.
Okay. He's going like this, as though there's a very fine point to your inquisitiveness. Okay. Now, he's actually fanning out money. So I know that there is money coming to you, but I feel that you're quite a generous person, because he's showing me money and you're kind of handing it out. So I know that you help people. He feels that that's a wonderful trait. He says, it doesn't have to be repaid in some way, but it will be repaid for you, because he says that it's very important that you understand the way in which the universe works. And there is yin and yang and give and take, but he says that there is a lot that has to come back to you. He says your childhood wasn't always... He's choosing his words very carefully. It wasn't always a helpful experience. So I think he's been very diplomatic with that. But he says it has brought valuable lessons, and these he says these are almost reoccurring, like a reoccurring dream. So experiences in childhood are being replayed. He says now more than ever. Would that make sense to you too?
Yes.
Fantastic, because I've got no idea what he's talking about, but I don't have to know. Okay. So as you're, it's a very strange occupation. This, we talk about things you have no idea about. But the path that you're taking now, he says, is going to be successful for you. I know that you've been successful in various projects that you've had in your life, but he says the next few stages that you're aware of, it is more important to you to be successful. I think he's talking about spiritual connection as well. And he says it's up to you to put in the work. He says you do work hard. You give, when you find a project, you give everything. Would that make sense to you as well? Yeah. And he says that is something which is going to bear a lot of fruit for you. Have you any quick question on anything?
No, and actually, I really appreciate it because there's a definitive split around that teenage year that you mentioned, and yes, some of those events have come back to replay themselves, and Tamara knows a little bit about this and a little bit about me, and I appreciate it. You're right on. I'm not exactly sure who the uncle is, but the message was pure. And that's what's most important.
Thank you. As you've said that, he showed me the outline of a lady, so I know she's on mum's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
You may find that he's at the level of granduncle on that level, but he keeps mentioning that he's an uncle and showing me this small image that's there. I know that you've helped a lot of people. He wants to thank you for that. I don't count that as evidence, but he does want to thank you for that. Bless you.
Thank you, Leah.
Great job. And I'm going to put you on. I'm going to put you in the green room, Ron, and then I will bring you back later. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. Good job, Leo. Good job. And I know him, and I know that I'll have him validated later. But he is going through doing some amazing spiritual things, and apparently 2 other people with gifts, me and someone else, have slammed him on that. So I was wondering if you would validate him today, because really, I think Spirit's asking everyone to step up to our highest good at this point to help other people, because together we need to grow, we need to move past this pandemic and all this whatever. So we need together pull ourselves up by the bootstrap as a family globally. I mean, this is a global thing. So thank you for that. That was good. I enjoyed that. I'm sure. Terrific. Well, I'm going to put you in the guest room for right now, and I'm going to bring on Sookie. Sookie, all right, here you are. And I am going to bring you your sitter, and that would be Linda Lee. So Linda Lee, meet Sookie. Sookie, do your.
Hi there.
Hi, Linda.
Nice to meet you.
Beautiful name. Nice to meet you too. Okay. Oh gosh, it's like when I'm linking in with you, what they're saying is that it's almost like you've had 2 distinct lives. You had this life and this life, but it's been in this it's not like you died and came back. It's like you've had 2 separate lives in this life. And what was, you really had to it's like they're feeling that you really had to take that leap of faith in order to go forward, and you've had some really inspiring experiences with Spirit. I feel like they have been really looking after you, that you've had a whole team of individuals, going back to great grandmother, because I'm seeing a lady with very Puritan, she looks like almost like a Quaker, very 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 white cap, apron, who's very sort of she's very loving energy, but she's also quite firm in the sense of, come on, I had to help you off the floor in order to take you to this place, to almost like to a better place. And what she is saying is that you've had to learn new skills, you've had to learn new things to do because you didn't quite believe. Because when I was linking in with you, there was this a huge amount of anxiety, and it's like, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Am I good enough? That kind of sense, and very emotional as well. It's like what they're saying is we had to put a band-aid on you. We had to put a band-aid on you to help you to heal, and it just feels like around the heart and the stomach area we had to cut it out, almost like we had to cut it out. We had to get that energy out so you could settle and stop feeling as if you weren't good enough. You're coming out of that at the moment. It's like they're showing me that we've been holding your hand, but they're saying you need to be more confident in yourself. You need to have more faith in yourself. And I'm picking up a grandmother figure by you, who you look very similar to this grandmother lady. It's almost like if you had more grey hair, little bit of a plumper face, you would look just like her. She's almost like your go-to person. She was your go-to person. This is the one who I relied on to help me figure out things. And it's almost like we wish we'd had more time together. We wish we'd had more time together, and you feel like you never had enough time with her. And it's almost like she's saying to you, I'm still here. What she's saying is that she sits there with her arm around you, and you sense her sometimes. It's almost like she's patting the side of your arm. She just patting the side of your arm and saying, I'm okay, and you're okay as well. She's giving me yellow flowers, yellow, like a daisy, like a yellow sort of like a very small petite flower. I know, and I don't know whether it's the flower of the place where you live, but it was she's giving you that sense of, because you have this strong. It's almost like sometimes you smell her. There's a very sweet smell around her. So when you sense her, all of a sudden you get this whiff of a bouquet. And she's telling me that they're the little yellow flowers that she used to like, almost like buttercups that we get in England, but very, very sort of strong scent. She's like, we had to put the band-aid on. We had to. It's almost like they had to get you to stop, because you were doing too much. You were like on this road where you were going too fast, and they had to get you to stop. And you had to stop for a while. Literally, it was almost like, it feels like you were on your back, and you had to stand. You had to lay still for a while. And by you laying still, this is what I meant earlier. It's like you left your old life behind you, and you went on this road of recovery, and you finally feel that you are stepping into the road of recovery. And she's just patting your hand. I do feel like that there's a lot of family who have passed in spirit, and it almost feels like it's gone down to single numbers, like the immediate family has almost like gone down to single numbers. There's not many of us left. But what they're saying to you is like the grandmother, grandfather, my mom, it's like I'm getting a sense of a young woman here as well, like a sister figure. And she's almost like she's giving you encouragement, because you speak to her almost like you find yourself talking to her when you're on your own. And you stop yourself sometimes. Who am I talking to? And this young woman is like you and I can feel you getting very emotional. She's getting very emotional as well, because she wasn't very old when she passed over. She was very young, and I feel her going like this, almost like there was a necklace that she had, or a piece of jewelry that she kept very close to her heart, that she almost I think it's something that she passed on to you, or that kind of sense. I'm getting all sorts of like pink around you as well. The color pink is significant in that she's giving you as much as you of the same family line. She was totally different. It's like she was very sparkly, shall we say? Somebody who was very into like glitter and pom-poms and the latest trend and the latest lipstick, whereas you're very sort of down to earth. But you had this connection with her, like a sisterly connection, and this is where the heart space is. You feel empty in the heart space a little bit. She's I'm getting the name Shelley or Michelle, sort of like Shelley. You had this Shelley or Michelle, but she had this wonderful laugh, because all of a sudden I'm hearing this really unique laugh, and it was like when she laughed, she would make you laugh just by her laughing. And it was almost like she was very giggly, but she was very intelligent, and she's like she used to come from behind you and almost like bear hug you like this, like bear hug you like this in the most unexpected moments, and she's like giving you this bear hug, and she's holding you tight, and it's almost like a rocking sensation, because sometimes I feel that you do this. It's like you rock, and you don't realize you're doing it until you realize you're doing it, and you always have this sense of comfort around you. So it feels like she was like rocking you like this, and she's got her head on your shoulder, and she's like you hear her. It's like you sense her very close to you. Beautiful young lady.
Sookie, you're echoing. Turn off your YouTube stream. Yeah,
turn off
anything you're saying. We have to have you over. So there's nothing but echoes. I could barely hear anything you're saying. I won't be able to hear it.
I haven't got anything on at the moment other than my laptop, so I don't know where that's coming from.
Could be Linda Lee then.
I don't have anything on either.
Okay.
Yeah. What I need to say to you though is you are so loved. You are so loved, and this is what they want to. They want to let you know that you are so loved, and it's like somebody's going like this. They had a particular clap in their hands, and it's like their palms didn't quite touch. It was like that they just press their fingers and they're doing this, and they're so proud of you. It's like they want to give you like a graduation. Somebody around your graduation that wasn't there, that you wanted to, who you wanted there. So there's something around the graduation. And they do watch you. They do see your progression, but two distinct lives. Is that? I hope you can take that.
I can. Yeah, and I do feel like I had two distinct lives, because I did. I was going really hard and fast and feeling like I had to just do and be everything, and then I just crashed.
Okay.
And then and you just they had to make you stop, because you were going into a space where you would not have recovered. But it's almost like you didn't care. It's like you didn't care at that time, and now it's almost like you feel you've earned a second lifetime. But they are around you a lot, and the lady who's just got her arm around you, just going patting on your shoulder, she's the older mother type, who's just saying, come on, hang on there, girl, hang on, you've come so far. But I do feel for you coming into 2020 2022 that you're going to have more clarity into the direction that we're going to go, and they are going to help you. So they're saying, ask us for guidance.
Okay. I always do.
I hope you can take that. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. They are listening. We do listen. Did you break a cup this morning, like a teacup, like something broke? Like you broke something, like a piece of china, or it fell. It's like this. There's a shattering of a mug or something.
I didn't drop
china.
Yeah, not today.
So it's just it was like you just went, oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh, I can't believe I did that. And it's like you were picking up the pieces, and it's like this particular piece of china had a particular memory. It's like where you were, you remembered where you purchased it and who you were with, and it slipped out of your hand. It's like I feel like it out of your hand and you just felt so silly for dropping it. But it's almost like you have to let it go. Something associated with that piece of broken cutlery cup is like you have to let that memory go because you're holding on to a lot of stuff.
Okay. I'll try and think about that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's something you broke.
Yeah, I didn't break anything today, but it could have been from, you know, a different timeline, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, but it was very emotional for me. It's like I almost feel like you felt broken yourself. It's quite symbolic.
Oh.
And I can't think of anything. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sookie. Okay, that was very cute. There's an echo somewhere. So somebody, I don't know if do you have YouTube on, Lindley, as well on the stream? Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring somebody in. All right. Let me do that. All right. So why don't you tell them who you are?
Well, we're husband and wife.
Yeah, so my name is Ron Davis. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Linda Lee is my lovely wife of approaching 27 years, and we're just on this path together.
Absolutely. And they keep getting that they're people spiritually with relationships, and they come out and do that. It's so cute. People are stuck out there and work for a lot of stuff. Yeah, so they're the spiritual romance couple, whatever you call it. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. And thank you, Sookie and Leo. And I think I am up next.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Talk to you later. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to mute people till I have on. I'm supposed to bring someone in. I don't know who they are. They're a friend of Priscilla, so I have no idea who it is. I want to welcome her. Her name is Caroline. Hey, Caroline, I'm Tamara. We don't know each other, do we?
No.
No, it's Priscilla's friend, so I don't know. So thank you for agreeing to do this. It's very sweet of you. Now, you know, I am a psychic and a medium, so I can go either way on this. Is there anything in particular that you want to know, or do you want me to go the medium route?
No, whatever. Just go for it.
Go for it. Okay, so I'll see what I do. All right. Okay, so there's a woman here, and if you could mute the TV or anything behind you, I don't know if there's some noise behind. Yeah, that'd be great. I would appreciate that. There's a woman here. There is a woman here. And it's funny, see, I'm moving right now because the energy, I've been sitting, so I got to move this energy with spirit. There's a woman here, and I really almost want to say I feel like she's your, like not your mother, but a mother-in-law, but a mother-like, okay? And she's kind of complaining to you. She says you're very, she said you're negative, and she's a very strong woman. She's very, almost too opinionated. Let's see, in life she would have had younger, darker hair. She's talking about a significant other of yours, a man, and she's talking about, she's kind of siding with this. I really, like this person, but I feel like that there's something she wants to talk about. I said, you want to talk about the relationship? She goes, no, I want to talk about you. So this woman feels like you helped to take care of this woman, and that you did not see eye to eye with her. So first I want to identify who this woman is around you so we know who she is before I give the message. But that you were both strong personalities and you sometimes butted heads. Would this be your mother-in-law? Who is this? Is this your mother-in-law? Okay, good. Because she's bragging on her son. And she goes, I know he's not perfect, but he's fine. Because I don't want to talk. I think you have some issues with him, but this is not what she wants to talk about. She wants to talk about you. And do you understand taking care of her as she was ill? And I feel like I feel like I want to cough. I want to cough, and that I'm hard-headed and I don't listen to a darn thing. Do you understand this with this woman? Very hard-headed. She comes to you and she says, she's like, sorry, I didn't know. She's now saying that she goes, I was difficult. So you did this out of love for your husband, correct? Or what is this? You took care of her. You did this almost out of duty is what I'm feeling for this woman. Yeah. Okay. So she said she wish it had been different, that she sees how strong you are. And in fact, that her son picked you because you're so much alike, and that's why you butted heads. I know you might know that, but you're strong too. And yeah, well, okay. This is what she's saying to me. She's saying, she said, you're like a mule. Sometimes you're very stubborn and you get your heels locked in. And she said, and you're very unmovable. And she said, that can go for you or against you. She said, it's good because you know what you want and what you don't want. But she said, at times it can stop you from your growth because to be a little bit more open to things. Let's see what she has for you. Yeah, she feels a sense of real sorrow that she gave you a hard time. And she's trying to make it up on the other side here to show you how much that she really does respect and love you, but she just didn't have it in her while she was alive. She said she didn't love herself the way that she should. She also says to you that there's a sense of, gosh, not to get personal. You don't have to say yes or no. You can just kind of wink. But there's a little bit of, even though you're a strong woman, there's a little bit of self-esteem issues, and she wants to push you. There's a sense, there's something that she wants to push you on. Let me see what this is. Okay, who's the male? Who's the male? You have a son? Son? Who's the male? Okay, so the son could be your husband. I don't think could be her son. So pushing the son. Would that be her son?
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like that there is an issue with money or finances and with far as work. Let's see what she wants to say about this. She actually sees, okay, this is her point of view. Okay. This is her point of view. She now sees on the other side because, you know, they do see their wrongdoings. She sees that you are a lot alike and pushing him. She goes, he's the kind of person you need to push a little bit, but gently, but you do need to can stay on him. But I feel like there's financial issues and she wants to talk about that. It's going to be you. I don't know if is he out of work right now, your husband? Or is there yes? Okay, good. I mean, not good, but okay. She said, you are going to have to continue to gently encourage and push because that's just what he needs. And it's almost like you took her place when she left because he needs that. Let's see. She said, get through the holidays, and after the first of the year, something will come about. Or releasing their budget. So but you're going to have to stay. You're going to help him look for the hand hold him. But things are going to be better the first of the year. It's going to be around mid-January. Does this make sense for you? And it's gotten you really kind of, well, let's say down. You're a little pissed off too, but that's okay. She said it's going to be okay about mid-January, but you're going to have to help him, whether it's going in the computer, looking at the things. You're going to have to kind of hand hold him. And this is the biggest thing that's bothering you right now. But this will be resolved. So, but you're going to have to help with that. I know he should, but That's okay. It's just whatever needs to be done. And, you know, he may be a bit down too, right? Low self-esteem. So, right. You may be, yeah. So we're not going to go too far into that and analyze everything. She's sending you her love. She, again, gives you an apology. She said you did so much to help her during her time of sickness, and she admires you that she couldn't do while she was living. She admires you for your strength and the stuff you put up with. We're going to leave it at that. And she sees you as a daughter now. She didn't before. She almost resented you, but now she feels badly, and she's going to be there supporting you and helping you. And she sends her love. So hopefully that you got some healing out of that. I know it's funny when they go to heaven, they wake up from, you know, they see how they really were. You can't escape it. So hopefully that helped you. Do you want to make any comments?
Yeah,
good. Okay, did it make sense? Yes or no? Yes, good. Okay, well, look, I'll send prayers that everything goes your way with the job for your husband and the finances. And thank you so much for your time today, Carolyn.
Okay.
God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie. All right. All right. Back to my medium family. Hello. All right. So that's great. So let me check in with our chat here. And all right, let's see. And the technology, we worked through that. That's okay.
Yeah, we did.
We worked through it. We worked through the echo. And oh, okay. We'll see if we can. How do I know if I'm doing the right things? How do I know I'm doing connecting to my life's mission? Well, that's really for everyone. You know, to me, it's the heart doesn't lie. What your heart wants is what your heart wants.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that and quit listening to everything else in the world, and what do you want to chime in on that? Because it's probably not for everybody. How do I know what I'm supposed to do in my life path? Which kind of brings us what we're going to be going over, regaining your joy, and do our little class we're going to be doing. But I want to do more educational things too. But y'all answer this. What do you think when someone to really connect to their life mission, and how do you feel that they know when they're doing that?
I think they feel right. In my experience, you know, sometimes you go along the path and there's all kinds of trouble. There's hold-ups, there's pauses. Now, to me, there are two kinds of pauses. There's the pause because the timing isn't right, which is a strange thing because there's no time in spirit, but timing is very important. So there's that kind of pause. But if you're getting blocked, if there are all kinds of aggravations in what you're doing, you're not on the right path. So I think he would know, you know.
Anyone else want to chime in on life path? I know people.
I would say. No, I mean, I would say it's about really connecting with yourself and asking yourself that one question: does this feel right to me? Because when it feels right, you're going to be encouraged to keep continuing doing what's right for you. It's only when you're out of balance, as Leo said, when things, no matter how hard you try and how much effort you put in, things just don't work out. So you've got to go back to basics and ask yourself that question: does this feel right for me? And sometimes what happens, we get distracted by the expectations of others as to where we should be, rather than going into ourselves and asking ourselves, what do I expect of me? What do I expect of myself? And I think that's important. And the answers are always within you. So you will start to connect with that part of you that is saying to you, you know, your own spirit, yeah, go in that direction, Mark. Go down. You're doing right. You're doing.
Okay. Anything you want to, and also Priscilla, anything you want to add to that, or any last words from you? Go around the room real quick and then say goodbye to everybody. And then a couple announcements, and then if people like this, if you like this, we can do this again. Yeah. So what happens is that because we have to bring, just let me answer this real quick from Colleen. The sitters were brought in because they have to have a special link. But yeah, Spirit can also answer not only that person, but other people coming through. That they can multitask. They're not linear like us. They can actually take care of many people's needs and concern. And also, it's not just our messages and words, but we're working with the divine light energy. So we are spreading that out, and it's the energy. So people can just all mediums are healers. So people can actually get healed in words and messages, but the energy alone that they can. I'm not trying to puff up. This is absolutely the truth, because it's not when we're doing this, it's not our higher self. So let me do this before we say goodbye to everyone. Please subscribe. If you're not on the channel, please subscribe so you can get alerts, so you'll know when we're doing more events like this. Also go to my website, southernbellemedium.com. Let me know if you want to be a sitter, and then we'll put you on the list for being a sitter, right? And I don't, a lot of these people that I'm getting emails from, I don't know you. So we have to read people cold, because, I knew these other people, they're wonderful, but, you didn't. So, and then that's how you get a reading and so forth. And one last comment, and then I'll close it out. Stay tuned next Friday, 6 to 7 for the live chat. And then we will be discussing about the holidays, sadness, depression, getting over that, and also some options for that in this class that Priscilla and I are going to roll out. So let's go around the room and make any final comments. You guys have been awesome. I knew you would be. And it's a total privilege to have you on my channel. I mean, you just, I admire you, because I know this isn't easy work. I know that. And so I admire you greatly for that. So thank you all. Priscilla, you want to say a couple words, and then we'll go around to the others?
I just wanted to say thank you very much, Tamara, for having us all on. And, we all are different in what we do, but we're the same. And I think, my connection to Sookie, and definitely to Leo, is that, and now to you, is that we're soul family. And I think that's important for people to know, is that when you're going on a spiritual journey, you meet different people along the way who enhance and amplify who you are and the energy that you're stepping into. So it's so important to have those kind of people in your corner, because it's a hard enough job as it is to be a psychic in the real world, and a medium in the real world. It's not always accepted, and it's not easy. So it's important to have people like Sookie and Leo and you, and myself in your corner, helping you to navigate life's challenges, especially on a spiritual realm. So my advice to everybody is, believe in yourself, believe in what you feel from your heart, because I feel like that's important. If it rings true to you in your heart, then it's the truth. So follow your truth.
Sounds great.
Thank you, Tamara.
You are so welcome. Thank you all so much. And I'm going to put the links in the chat for everybody, and also the wellness conference and so forth, because that's coming up around the corner. I think the Psychic Circle, December 3rd. And any of going on with you, Leo? You got any events coming up?
Not at the moment. No, things are slightly quiet in that. I was just wanting to thank you so much for having me on. It's been a real privilege. And just touching really on what Priscilla said, we're all part of the same soul group. And that's really important. But it's been my privilege. And I've learned lots. Thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. That really touches me. Thank you so much. And I'm also at some point this spring going to be on your show, right? You've got a YouTube.
You are? Absolutely. Yeah.
Tell people the YouTube channel real quick.
My YouTube channel. Sorry.
And you do have I'm going to be on your show, right? Your YouTube channel.
Ah, right. It's people can listen into the program on Skype. It's not a YouTube channel; it's a Skype channel. But it's www.kcorradio.com.
Okay, and you'll send me the email link, and I'll put it in the below this video, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And also the wellness conference, I'll add that as well. And Sookie, do you have any events coming up, or you do a lot with Priscilla, right? So you may have something with that, right?
Yeah. Priscilla's got my diary. She just books me in.
That's right. Just tell us.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
Yeah,
Priscilla,
she'll give me like half an hour notice. Oh, by the way, it's like put your lippy on, Suki. But I'm come on Leo's show in January. I think it was the 24th or something like that. So
I think it is,
that's one of the big moments coming up. Yeah. So really looking forward to that. But again, Tamara, thank you so much. And wonderful working and being on the same platform as yourself, Leo and Priscilla. Really enjoyed the last few hours, and it's just been, and as Leo said, we always learn. Life is about learning. Life is about embracing the changes that sometimes we are forced to make, or we feel that we have been pushed into making, and not being afraid of taking that leap of faith, because you will never be put in a position, especially by spirit, to do something that you are not ready to do. And it's always what you are ready to do, even though you may not realize yourself. So have some faith, trust, and also, be honest with yourself as well. Where exactly is my life taking me, and where do I want it to go? I always say to my clients that when people around you start saying to you, you've changed, that to me is an indication that you are following your path. You are being true to yourself. And that's important. And spirit loves us. At the end of the day, it's all about the vibration of love and the respect and the soul family that we have here. It's just awesome.
yes, absolutely. Well, it is about the love, and that's what I'm writing now. It's about the love. I want to send that out there because, I think that part of what we do, we didn't say, is that we have committed to do this for service to spirit. And so because of that, I feel greatly humbled to be able to give readings and to help people. And, whether people get it at the time, sometimes it needs to sink in and absorb. That's not for us to decide. Our job is to be of service. So we were glad that we could be of service to you today. And also, again, if you want to be a sitter next time, if you like this, let us know real quick in the chat. Did you like today? And would you like to do something like this again? If you do, 222 is my favorite number. 22 is my birthday, March 22nd. Same as William Shatner. Of course, we have nothing in common at all. Let's see. All right, good. So 222. Okay, so everybody seems to be liking this. So we'll see if we can plan something like this again. We have to get it organized because everybody's time zone. So it's later in the evening. It is what time, Priscilla? Time?
It is now about 9:25 in the evening.
Okay, and you guys are 7 p.m. 7.
Yeah, it's nearly 7:25.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's 2:20
in the evening
during the afternoon here. See, this is cool.
Yeah.
So this whole computerized.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that we can do this together and we can connect. Look, thank you guys so much. You'll be hearing more from me and from the other mediums. And I just thank you so much for joining in and doing this. And I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.